Important. Why is it important that you understand how to make the best decisions for whatever is next for you in your career? Well, not all decisions are created equal, and not all decisions are made in favor of you. And not all decisions are good for you. So I really want to share some strategies with you today that kind of help you sleuth around, pick up the breadcrumbs, open your awareness, notice new things, so that you're making the best decisions for you. See, what happens is that sometimes there's a lack of options. We don't have enough options. And usually that's when we're feeling stuck, we're feeling anxious, things just don't feel right for us. But sometimes we have too many options. So there's a whole lot of things going on. There's a whole lot of opportunities, but it's like, well, how do I figure out what's going to be the best fit for me? I mean, and especially career. It's not like you make a decision and it's kind of like, oh, my bad. I need to go do something else. There's kind of a little bit of unwinding with that. So, it's kind of a bigger pressing decision. So you really want to make sure that you're considering what is going to be best for you. So whether you have a lack of options or whether you have too many options, let's figure out a way that we can get you to the right place, making the right decisions for you. So what happens is when you are in the right decision-making mindset. And if you followed me for any length of time, you know that I am all about mindset, because it is not just what you do to create career success, but it's how you think about it too. So up here, what's between our own two ears, that 6 inches, is key to getting to the next level. So when you're in the right mindset, stepping outside of your comfort zone, it allows you to step into who you're supposed to be. So I'm an advocate of stepping outside of your comfort zone. The more you do, the more you become who it is that you're meant to be. The more that you have an opportunity to create visibility, to create credibility, either in your industry or in your organization. You have an opportunity to say yes more often. When you understand what's a right fit for you, it's easier to say yes. It's easier to focus on what is right. It is also an easier way for you to say no more often. So having that right decision-making mindset is so key for all of those reasons and more. So let's talk about what it means to make the right decisions in your career, because you may be in a point right now where, all right, I've got to look for something different. Maybe it is you're thinking that, what I was doing was okay then, but it really doesn't fit me so well anymore. I have had countless calls and interviews with people who have said that same thing, that, this isn't a fit. I've got to make a move. And boy, I am not going to take just anything. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to figure out what is right for me. And that is what I want for you, is to be able to make those decisions. So the process, how the process happens, is that you really go sleuthing. You get curious. You get open about yourself. So this is a process of discovery about yourself and what is a right fit for you. Last week's show, we talked about how do you discover what might be next, okay? And so today we're taking it a step further and we're talking about how you make those decisions once you've discovered what might be next. So getting curious, going sleuthing, and here are some of the ways that you can do that. It's a matter of uncovering your motivation. It's a matter of uncovering what it is that lights you up. What are the things that allow you to feel like you're in flow? What are the things that you enjoy doing that provides a certain experience of your career? And this all ties into your motivation. So this is how you figure out what is going to light you up, what you're motivated to do in your career. And your career is where you spend the most of your time. It is where you spend the majority of your day. Even if you're working from home, you're still probably working full-time, unless you're looking for another full-time gig, in which case you're spending pretty much your full time trying to find the next gig. So getting curious. And there's a number of ways that you can do that. So asking great questions of yourself will give you great answers on more than one level. So I want to share with you some techniques that I share with my audiences, that I share with my coaching clients to help them get out of their own way and figure out what it is they really want so they can focus on getting there, really getting momentum. So great questions. So here are some questions for you to consider. The first question is, consider your career or your jobs in the past. And what I want you to, and if you have a journal, if you have a tablet, piece of paper, something to write this down, I want you to spend some time on this, even after this, the video is ended, is what felt good in the past. So what was it about previous jobs that you had? What was it about previous careers, maybe in the same industry or in a different industry, doesn't matter, that you really enjoyed? So what is it that you've done in the past that you really enjoyed? And what was it about that made you enjoy it? So I want you to dig and uncover, why did you like that? Okay. Now, conversely, we're going to flip it. What in the past didn't you enjoy? I'm an advocate of focusing on the positive, focusing forward. However, things that have tripped us up in the past, things that we didn't enjoy in the past, it's okay to look in the rearview mirror, determine what that is, because that's all great information for you to move forward. So what are the things you were like, no way, I don't like doing this, I procrastinate, it feels awful? That's important information too, because you don't want to choose anything that moves you in that direction. But what you really want to focus on are, what are the things that felt good in the past? What did you like doing? What did you enjoy doing? What did you look forward to doing? What was the best part of your job? What were your favorite things to work on? Maybe it was people or personalities that you really resonated with, and having a certain kind of boss. Whatever the case may be, what was it about your previous employment that you really enjoyed? So careers in the past, pick up the breadcrumbs and figure out, what was it that you really enjoyed, that brought you joy, that just lit you up, that seemed effortless. You just wanted to go in this direction. So that is one of the great questions. What felt good in the past? What did you enjoy in the past? And then go to the other side. What didn't you like in the past? Those are great questions to ask yourself. And again, after this video is over, I encourage you, write it down and really dig into it. Whether it was a task or a responsibility or a type of job or a boss, a colleague, what was it? So next question for you to consider is, what feels good now? In the job that you have now, in the career that you have now, what is it that you enjoy? What is the best part of your job? What are the best aspects? What are the things that you look forward to doing? What are the things that, again, they light you up? You can't wait to do it. It's just fun to do it. It seems effortless to do it. You need to pay attention to that, because on some level that's resonating with you. So then going again to the other side, in your current job, what don't you like? What do you drag your feet on? What is just like, oh, I'll get to it, and you don't? What are the things that you have to schedule in your calendar? Otherwise, there's no way it's going to get done. So paying attention to those breadcrumbs, that's a great question to ask yourself. Another way of putting it is asking yourself, or asking people who are close to you, what is your superpower? What is it that you do that it's just, I got this, it's easy for me to do, it doesn't seem like anything special, almost as if, well, that doesn't really seem relevant because it's just too easy. And sometimes it takes some time to uncover what you think your superpower is. For me, my superpower is clarity. Listening to clients, listening to their language, helping them figure out what is getting in their way, and giving them strategies to get beyond it. That is my superpower, helping bring people clarity. And I'll tell you what, for the longest time, I thought, well, that can't be it. It was just too easy for me to do, so I didn't find value in it. But now I know differently. So the same for you. What is your superpower? What is it that's easy for you to do that you enjoy? Paying attention to that, because on some level, there's something in there that really resonates with you. And when you align with that, it allows you to make really good decisions. Ask other people what they think your superpower is too, because sometimes we got blinders on. We can't see it for ourselves, but others can see it in us. So paying attention to that. What is easy for you? So one of the things that I will mention to my clients, and that I pay attention to myself, is force versus flow. When are you pushing? When is it heavy? When is it like rolling a boulder uphill that you're working on something? So paying attention to force, when you have to force thing, it's hard. You're just working so hard to make it happen. Paying attention to that. What is it about that that makes you have to force it? Uncovering what's underneath that, because that'll help you to make a better decision. Versus flow. What are things that just naturally occur? What are things that you could do all day long, regardless of whether you got paid for it or not? You know, what are the things that just allow your personality to come out? What are the things that are fun? When you can answer that, those are things that you keep track of because they help you choose in favor of you. So what I want to do last is an exercise. And so if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper, I want you to go get one, because all the questions that I've asked before, I want you to track the answers, and knowing the answers to these questions will become a barometer of sorts for you to make the best decisions for you. So here's what I want you to do. This is something called your career values. And what's interesting about values is it's a window into your own head as to what motivates you, what makes you tick, what will allow you to experience your career in a way where you feel fulfilled, where you feel satisfied, where it's easy for you to be focused, and leading to being financially stable as well. So values are formed from your experiences and your beliefs, the ways that you think, but it is the way that you say, yes, this is right for me, or no, it's not. It is your black and white. It is what is right and wrong for you. So these are personal and customized to you. So here is the question. Because, and let me back up a second. The reason that you ask this is because when it comes to making a decision about what may be next for you in your career, it's not just about the tasks and the responsibilities of the job. So sure, there's a job description, there's a title, there's a wage grade, or if you're in business, it's, you know, there are certain responsibilities with the business. Maybe you are contract for a financial services firm, you know, whatever the case may be. So there are tasks and responsibilities. So that's kind of the what of the job. But what I want to get to the root of here is how you experience performing those tasks and responsibilities. I mean, because if you think about it, if you go into a job and you've, for instance, got to do financial analysis, and then you've got to generate reports, and then you've got to present on those reports, and then you've got to reach out to colleagues, or not colleagues, to potential prospects. So there's these responsibilities that you have. Great, but you don't often wake up in the morning saying, "Oh, I can't wait to do some financial analysis." But what does happen is that there is a way that we experience performing these tasks and responsibilities. So it is how we experience our job that is so important, that allows us to have fun, to be fulfilled, to be focused. But you've got to uncover what those are. And most people don't even know. So here's an easy way to do it. Another question for you is, I want you to answer the question, in the context of your career, what is important? What must be present in order for you to feel fulfilled? Okay, answer that question. And what I'm looking for is 1 or 2 word answers. So it might, I'll give you an example of some of mine. Some of my career values are that it's meaningful, that what I do is meaningful, that it's impacting others, travel was one of them. I'm not going to be doing that for a little while, going to conferences and speaking, but having fun, you know, doing things like this and interviewing subject matter experts so I can bring you information to help you thrive in your career, advance to the next level, is fun. And especially with social media and all the technology we have. So fun is one of mine. The ability to give back. I don't know if you can see these, but I've got these beautiful flowers I got yesterday. I did a mentoring session for a cohort, And they sent me those lovely flowers as a way to say thank you for doing the mentoring session. So giving back is important to me as well. So these are things that how I perform my business, how I work in my business, I need to experience it this way. Because if I'm not, then I'm not satisfied. I'm not fulfilled. I am not having fun. And when you don't have that sort of motivation, it's not financially stable either. So it's got to align with your values. So think about it. In the context of your career, what must be present? What is important to you to be present in your career? Think of as many answers as you can, 1 or 2 word answers: fun, giving back, meaningful, fairly compensated. If you Googled career values, you could come up with a page of them and select the ones that resonated with you. So whatever it is that pops into your mind is just perfect. Write them all down. See if you could get to 10 or more, maybe 15. That would be great. And then here's what's important. If you need to, pause the video. Well, you can't now because we're live, but in the recording, pause the video, do your brainstorming, and then come back. So the second piece of this is that I want you to prioritize them. And how I want you to prioritize them is I want you to compare one value against every other value. So whatever's in the top slot, you compare it to the second slot, and one of them is going to come out ahead. Whatever one comes out ahead, you compare it to the next one. And so you go down the list and you compare one entry against every other entry to see which one comes out on top by the time you get to the bottom of the list. And that will be your number one value. So then that one comes out of the list. Then with the remainder of the list, you go through again. So you're doing several iterations of this and compare one value against every other value to see which one comes out on top for the number 2 slot. So you're only ever comparing one against the other. So it's only between, the decision's only between 2. You go through this as many times as you need to prioritize your list, but at the very least, you want to have a top 3 or a top 5. That is your window into the world of how you need to experience your career. So if you've got to make a decision, whether you're looking to advance to the next level or you're thinking it's time for the next chapter, make sure that you have this list handy. So it's not only about what it is that you're good at, but it's how you need to experience it, because that is how you will be fulfilled and making the best decisions for you about what's next in your career. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, email me at debbie@gettingtoclarity.com. I would love to hear from you. And if you would like a little help about what the next level is for you in your career, or perhaps the next chapter, I would be delighted to have a conversation with you. So I've got a number of ways that I work with clients, and I would really love to get you on my calendar so that I can listen and learn more about where you're at, where you'd like to go, maybe uncover some ways that there are some obstacles and some strategies that you can get by them. So it would be my pleasure to be of good service to you. If that's an interest, then you can go to claritywithdebbie.com. Again, that's claritywithdebbie.com, and grab some time on my calendar. I look forward to it. So until next week and the next show, here is wishing you the clarity you deserve. I hope you have a really great day. Bye-bye for now.